Hello everybody, Vagran Gaming, and yeah, went with something a little bit different for the music this time, and the reason why was because my guildmates, how to put this diplomatically, they were a little bit overly expressive in some of the comments they were making in voice, and apparently they'd had some poor experiences with off teams that weren't quite up to par with what they wanted, and now we were against them for the first time, and they had a lot to say. It was a bit much, but it was also kind of funny. But anyway, the reason why I'm uploading this match specifically, while you might notice that people are going to be dying a lot, I'm struggling to keep up. The reason for that was, a good chunk of the time, their whole team was down here, and we were outnumbered. I think it was 8, 7, 6. I think it was like 6v8, according to what they were saying, for a good chunk of the fight down here. So this match is to highlight objectives. While the other team was really good at pumping out damage because everybody was dying like crazy, like my whole team was just taking a ton of damage, I'm struggling to keep up. I'm doing a not so great job of trying to keep them healed. But we hung on to the objectives. So as you look now, I'm trying to keep this person up. I'm getting a couple of heals on them, doing what I can. But meanwhile, I mean, everybody else's health keeps dropping. I switch away for a second, and, well, you can see what happened. They just died. And now the person, Cerez, there that I switched over to, now they're in trouble. Like, I was healing out. I was pumping out so many heals that I'm pretty sure that my supercharged gas was like, it would fill up to the 30 stacks really quickly because I was just constantly healing. And so now I'm in trouble, so I'm trying to keep myself up. Meanwhile, my team is still being ripped to shreds. But we've still got the objectives. So it's just to highlight the point that, you know, dealing out a lot of damage it's good. I mean, it's a big part of PvP, but an even bigger part is making sure you have control of the objectives. Because without those, in pretty much everything outside of an arena, it's going to lead to your victory or your defeat. And overall, even though our team was suffering losses, people getting killed on the regular, for the most part, we hung on to those objectives. So I don't have a lot of special notes as far as healing goes, other than I was doing my best. Which, I mean, my off team would probably say it wasn't good enough considering the deaths. Because I think by the end of this, I didn't die, but pretty much everybody else had. But despite that, we held the line. I don't think we ever give up a node, other than as far as like our native ones. I think we pretty much hang on to those. I mean, like, case in point, just lost another one, and now I switched over to heal this character here, and I'm taking damage at the same time that I'm trying to heal them, and I'm having a hard time even getting them to 30%. Like, they're still in execute range. So they may have popped a couple of defenses in addition to the heals coming in. Now I'm dying. I just got stunned and knocked back, and it looks like there's a couple of people on me, but my reflect was up, which was a huge lifesaver. And they go down. So I'm gonna try to heal Cerez now. Yeah, this match, by any stretch of the imagination, didn't go according to plan. But plan A is what they call the first casualty of war most of the time. So just keep in mind, I mean, doing damage is good, but you gotta keep an eye on your objectives. And if your whole team seems dead set on going one way, and by that I mean like abandoning one of your native nodes, it might come down to you as being the one sane person and running off to take care of it, because that's a situation that does come up in this very war zone. So a couple of things that might help some people that are learning to heal, and this is something that I'm trying to work on. I spent pretty much this whole match staring at the health bars, which isn't the most efficient way to run a healer. Your cast times are between Well, they're under 2 seconds. Let's just put them on average between 1.4 or 1.2 seconds. That being the case, during that cast time, that's a good time for you to look up, survey the area, and see if you need to kite, see if you need to move, see if there's somebody else whose health is dropping really low. And as I mentioned before, we just capped that third node. And it's quite possible that they capped it so easily because there was no one there guarding it. But again, back to the healing tips. If you're looking away from the rows of health bars as much as possible, you're able to keep a better eye on the battlefield. For example, I could have seen that, yeah, there's a sage pummeling me, and I could have thrown a couple of heals on someone, line of sighted just to break it for a second, come around the other side, and then pick it back up again. But again, I was staring at health bars. And honestly, just looking at all this health dropping from multiple people at the same time is giving me anxiety. It was, at the time that this was happening, it was pretty discouraging because, like I've said this before, like, I'm not a great healer, but I'm functional. Like, I can get the job done, but I need a really good off team to, like, carry me through. And on this one, I just kept seeing everybody dying, and I was thinking, I'm gonna get reamed out. But then I'd look up, because again, I was staring at the health bars the whole time. I'd look up and like, oh, we're like really winning. Awesome. And it looks like they're about 2%, and that's it. So again, doing a lot of damage is great, but you really got to watch those objectives, and if no one else is willing to run to the off node to guard it, you might need to take one for the team, because if not, I mean, that was a really short match. This altogether, even with the post-credits right here, that's like under 8 minutes. So that was one of my healing exploits. Nothing to write home about, but we held the line. As always, thanks for watching. I will catch you guys next time.